I guess the thing that motivates me is like the idea of having a really, I don't know, like a shared experience with somebody I don't know through this object that I made. Yeah, I think the idea of kind of looking together has always been something really nice. I mean, I think we all live in time and we have to negotiate it. It's the material of our lives, yeah. Yeah, it's not a, I don't know, when I was a student, alongside art, I was also really into philosophy of science, and it's really a very interesting, philosophical subtopic, like philosophy of time. And there's, I think it's still a very interesting and ongoing debate, The thing I was into in high school other than art was chemistry. And so I, was with my parents in the car, I don't know, and we were talking about, my future plans, and then I was like, well, maybe I should go and study to be a chemical engineer, and then they were like, oh, you're gonna get bored with that very fast. You should just do art, and then all of the things you're interested in you can fold into your artwork, which is a very enlightened answer from a parent. I grew up in the US, and then shortly after I finished grad school, I got a grant to travel from my undergrad. And at the same time, I was invited to do a show in Brussels, and I came to Brussels, and I really fell in love with it here, and I just decided to stay here. When I first came here, I was just really immediately welcomed by the art scene here, and made a community kind of right away, and I just found that it was very easy. And I mean, I also had a gallery here, and I had kind of some projects in Europe to work on, and it was just easier than going back to LA, honestly. So I just decided to just keep being here and making artwork. These were also works that we made for that show too, and they were like these kinds of keyhole kind of casts. So, but I was kind of making all these sort of like artificial kind of stone materials. It's not stone, no. It's like basically made out of like studio dust, like stuff mixed together with resins and artificial plasters and things like that kind of give it this stone. This is not very, sorry. When I first came to art school, I started off maybe thinking that I would go into painting, although the school I went to didn't have departments. You could really do whatever you wanted. But then I kind of gravitated into the photo department because the photo professors were really the most interesting and challenging and nicest ones, and they kind of adopted me into, and so then I was really just concentrating on photo for the rest of the time. First of all, photography is really the most democratic art medium. I mean, everybody does it all the time. When I was in grad school, it was the first time that I had a studio to work in, really, and so I started to make kind of objects that were sort of props for photographs. I think every sculptor also has their own definitions of what sculpture is, what it can do, and what makes it different than any regular object, and at least the way that I've sort of come to understand sculpture, it's really about the forces that are at work and the thing itself, and And photography, it's the limitations of it. If you photograph really with a lens, then you can only really capture something in one state of being. Sculptures they're vulnerable to the effects of physics, and photography, it's not, because it's in only this finite space basically that you kind of witnessed, and it's been removed from one time and placed into another time. So this is kind of like how how the sculptures are before they're cast. So this is like kind of this quite a random railway interchange, but I think that the overall geometry of it is just really beautiful, and like the particular curves of it. And so I chose this kind of tiny fragment from the map because of this form, and then when you cast it, it kind of completely transforms into something else. I think calendars are really interesting because they say a lot about the culture that made them, and I got really into this 13-month calendar that was heavily promoted by George Eastman, the founder of Kodak, and they used it internally at Kodak until like 1989 or something like that. There was this International Fixed Calendar Society, and they were lobbying Congress and the League of Nations that there would be 13 months with 28 days, and every holiday would always fall on the exact same day of every year, and there would be one day off basically, but the whole thing seems very logical, and of course nobody wanted this, and nobody wants to live in this kind of efficiency-driven society. It's just totally absurd to, and I think that's what I really loved about this, that I love the failure of it actually, and what it says about, about the society that we live in. The form of it is based on this kind of fan that's used for identifying the color of egg yolks. Farmers would feed, chicken feed with some kind of supplement in it or something that would adjust the yolk color to the client preferences, and it's been used since like the 50s or something, but this is still the normal way of making egg yolks. It's really disturbing, and so I saw this object, and then I decided to recreate it in egg tempera, which was the first way that I learned how to paint when I first came to art school, and after that, I started to make other kinds of works that were in using this same kind of fan form. And one thing that I came on to was these kind of color charts for chemical contaminants in water. So you have these kinds of little colored vials, and you have to like match your sample to them, And so the colored glass I painted to match these kinds of liquid test vials, basically. Yeah. Like these were the molds that I used for these pill sculptures that I was telling you about. The motifs are from different buildings, like from Hoffmann La Roche or from Novartis, like the two main pharma companies in Basel. And they were kind of based on these pills that I saw in the pharma museum in the city. I mean, it's the main industry in the city. Maybe this one is also, I should say, like, it looks very abstract, but it's actually like it's taken from the kind of Google map of the city of Basel. So this is the Rhine here, and then this is a bridge going over it, and then this is like, circle is like where the pharma campus of Novartis is, and so it kind of became this sort of constructivist looking kind of geometry here. I mean, I always want to have a really physical reaction, and for people to, to feel transported, and to feel, I don't know, to feel like they're floating or something. Yeah, it's that's all of the time that I'm working and preparing everything for the space. That's really what I'm hoping for, is this kind of sensation in your stomach that you get, I don't know, when a child getting a piggyback ride or something. I mean, I want art to kind of be able to really give you that sensation also, but through pure visuality, actually. Yeah.